Hello everyone, this is a very special video of Snide and Sniff today. We have the wonderful Jeetdoh. You probably have heard of him, you should have heard of him. We are very grateful to have on this podcast interview style video today. Thank you so much for joining us today, Jeetdoh, to discuss stuff, answer questions we have about your art and your legacy as one of the greats.
Hello. Yeah, hope you guys are doing okay.
So yeah, this is Jeetdoh. This is our first interview podcast we're doing, and I know you have been on I know you've been on a number of podcasts previously. Like I've seen you on the Crete one, the Clever Fox Man, and a couple of others maybe.
No, those are the only two. I think I came across really awkward there.
Oh, right. I remember there was a lot of you talked about anime. I was thinking it's they're going to be very, very, very relevant topics, but no, it was just chill conversation about anime. So I was like, okay, I felt a little less intimidated to make this, something very serious after that.
Yeah, man, it's your podcast. Feel free to ask anything as long as it's not too personal.
No, I'm gonna try not to go super personal or anything like that. We like to keep it not too personal on this channel. First off, I want to say this, Jeetdoh, we've been huge fans of your art for a long time, and it's just pretty awesome being able to talk to you. It's like talking to a celebrity of our little community here. So I just want to get that out. It's super cool having you here.
Oh, thank you. I do feel weird being the first one to open the first episode. It's going to be setting a bar if everything, if this episode bombs, you know who to blame.
Oh no. I'm sure. Don't worry, man. One of the topics I did want to ask is you've been doing the chonk, the fat art for quite a number of years now. How long? Do you remember how long exactly you've sort of been an artist in the community?
I'd say this would be the 10th anniversary.
Oh my goodness.
I guess. Yeah. You asked me on a really good time. I've been doing this for probably 10 years now. I'm like, oh god.
Damn, what? Man. Having been around, I wanted to ask you, and I don't know if how on the pulse of the cutting edge of fat art you are, but are there any new artists you've seen come up in the last few years, newer artists just getting into it that you follow or are really interested in their work and where it will go?
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's been a lot of promising new artists in the community. Well, I'd say community. Is it really a community? But yeah, it's in the wider sphere. I have noticed a lot of new faces that are basically killing it out the gate, and that's a lot. There's a lot more talent than not to trash the previous generations of artists that came before me, but they just wow. I'm blows everything out of the water.
I know what you mean, because there are some artists who are they come on, they're here's my first art, and it's all right, that's what I expect from a beginner. And then there's some artists who come on and it's hey, I'm new, and it's how are you already doing art this good as your first artwork? Anyone's in particular that you're really personal favorites that you really like following the art of?
If we're talking about pretty recent faces, I'd say Souffle is pretty good, pretty wild. They've done a lot of fat art recently that you're wow, and they've done a lot of it in a very short time. So I'm whoa, that's the one popping out of my head right now. A lot I did have a chance to say hi and be friends with, so that's always fun.
That is always nice. Honestly, something I just love about being in this community, if it is a community, I don't know. A lot of the artists around here are just really cool people, and I enjoy interacting with them.
Yeah, most of us are pretty chill, which is good.
I did have another question, sort of relating. You've been doing this for a little while, and I know you also have do art as a professional job on like as your main thing, and then do art on the side.
Yes.
And I wanted to ask if it's, you know, I don't know if this is personal, but how do you manage to like do a full-time art job while also producing like this level of quality of like art like pretty regularly? I would say, given that you're also doing a full-time job. How is there a secret?
Well. To be honest, I don't think I've been producing art as much as I used to as a few years ago. Mainly because, you know, real life starts to creep in. I've gotten more responsibilities since I've started my job. You know, getting a higher position. You're like, oh no, I gotta be taking care of other people now. So, oops. For a while, I feel like I posted fat art quite regularly, but nowadays not so much. This whole month I've been stuck on some secret projects I can't really mention, but I hope they come out. I'll make sure to tell you guys if it's out. It's not fat related. Sorry.
Well, if it has anything to do with your Transformer OCs, I'm still excited because those are awesome.
It's someone else's project, but I'm really excited to join in. So I'm not going to be mentioning anything. Yeah, as for balancing the two sides, usually they don't really. How do I put it? I don't usually. Let's just say I kind of almost separate the two. Like my professional stuff.
Oh, I understand that. I understand that.
Doesn't really end up on my page. Luckily, they haven't. I don't think they checked my social media. Don't worry about it.
I can imagine that feeling of like them asking for you, like, what's your just social media?
Ooh, let's say it's something, but I haven't. But the truth is, I haven't been producing as much fat art as I was a few years ago. Mainly, it's probably for a few reasons. I mean, I know it's what people like, and it's what people came to see my stuff for. But you know, when you've been doing this for 10 years now, as I've said before, you know, I wouldn't say I've lost the spark for it. It's more like I've got more. I feel like I have more priorities as of late.
Yeah, there's so many other things to draw that you want to draw. I understand that.
Yeah, and sometimes, you know, if any artists out there are happy with what they draw, that's great.
Absolutely.
Keep doing it.
I want to say, man, I love, like, you do fantastic fat art, but I love your non-fat art stuff, like your JoJo art. That stuff is super cool. Oh my god.
Thank you.
Before I forget, your Bionicle art, that was awesome.
Right, that was me going through a nostalgic phase, I guess.
Oh my god, I grew up with Bionicles, so I know what you mean.
Yeah, I'm at that age now where I'm like, oh man, I kind of miss the stuff I grew up with.
Oh, I get that.
Yeah, I've just gotten a hold of the what do you call it? Was it the free with purchase Bionicle set? Anniversary set? Whatever it was?
Oh, yeah, I think I know the one you mean, the brick built Tahu one that you get from ordering Lego. Oh, nice.
I don't think we have that kind of service here, so what I did was buy the box off another guy.
Right.
Right. Around Marketplace, so you know I don't have to spend hundreds of dollars just to get this one set. I just got this one.
That's nice.
Which era of Bionicle were you guys into?
Oh, now, because we got a lot of like the early Bionicles secondhand, because it was reasonably easy to get like the original 6-tar, and I think we pretty much had all of those like secondhand. But I remember it was 2004 with the Toa Metru was the first ones I got into. Yeah, it was the green one Martel that was actually my original Bionicle. I do still remember that.
Yeah, I guess any year from 2004 to 2009, I guess.
Yeah,
basically all the Bionicles.
Yeah, we had a lot. We had a lot of them. We were both very into it. Probably 2006 with the Paraka was like. I was really into Bionicle around then. Paraka, those guys were friggin' awesome.
Yep, Paraka rap.
Oh my god, the Paraka rap.
Yo yo Piraka.
Yo Yo Piraka. That was those also had the best web games. Have you played the Bionicle web like online games?
Yes. Actually, one of the was it the Matanui online game?
Oh my
the
god,
one
that is a classic.
The one that flash-based one that you just journey around the map. Is it that one?
Yes.
I forgot the name, but you know the one.
It's Matanui online game or like Minog. That was because yes, I definitely played that. And there was also Minog 2.
I guess I did play some of the other Bionicle games on the PlayStation 2 and.
You even had the ones on the PlayStation 2? Oh man, I wanted them.
Looking back, they aren't great games, but I have fond memories of them. Wow, sometimes you get stuff recommended on YouTube. Like, oh my god, I played this. Ooh, it's pretty jank.
Did Lego games only really get objectively good with like the Lego Star Wars and onwards? I don't know.
I don't know, but hey, the Lego Star Wars games are great.
They are good, unironically.
I mean, there's a reason that we still have fondly remembered memes up to today. The Yoda dying scream lives in my head rent free.
Is that a good Yoda death sound? I don't know.
I think the audio cut out just.
My mic doesn't pick up certain frequencies, and that may be on it. So I probably can't record the Yoda death sound.
Your mic did not pick up the force. I'm sorry.
But yeah, I had a lot of Bionicles all the way through to I even had a lot of like the last round, the 2009 like Desert Gladiators.
Right. That's right before the reboot, wasn't it?
Yeah, which was 2015, 16.
I think I kind of grew out of Bionicle for a while during the latter eras, before but I still kind of pay attention to what's happening. Like, what are they up to now? You just look from a distance, like you don't buy them anymore, but just want to see what they're up to.
I still feel very happy watching watching people's videos on like retrospectives on Bionicle. Oh my gosh! So yeah, your Bionicle art definitely resonates with me.
Thank you.
That was a whole tangent.
You're like, yeah, people in the audience going, what is Bionicle? I don't know how old your audience is. How much do they skew?
I don't know for sure.
Speaking of going outside your audience range, that happens to me quite a few times. Like, oh man, I've seen plenty of posts where they're on different sites. They're like, wow, this JoJo art is really cool. I wonder who drew it. And then followed by the weirdest reactions ever.
Oh,
it happens a few times. Like, oh no. Recently on Twitter, someone quote retweeted one of my Transformers designs, and I think the post was like, oh man, their designs are so good. Why did they have to be a fat artist? Like, oh man, why so rude, man? I die a little inside every time. Like, fair enough. I put everything in one place, so it's kind of on me,
And you know that there'll be a lot of people in your regular audience who'll be like, he drew someone who was thin again.
I'm sure that happens, but I'm lucky that most of the people are pretty supportive of me just doing my thing.
That is great to hear, because I want to see more of your art just in general.
Oh, thank you. Again, I got something coming up. I'm cooking something.
Let them cook.
Yes, let them cook.
Oh, speaking of your Transformers, your Transformers OCs, I want Hasbro to make like toys of all of them. I know that's unlikely, but I would buy them all. Like, I want them. Oh my god.
Please.
Specific Rolls is just like such a great design. I love her so much.
Yes. Thank you. She's been around longer than you would imagine.
Oh really?
She's actually one of the older OCs I drew. I don't post her that often, but looking back at the dates of the older art of her, it actually ranges not too far from when I started. So I'm like, wow, so it is that old.
Man.
But every now and then I take and redesign her again, but the latest one seems to stick, and I'm like, probably not going to change it until further notice, hopefully.
latest set of designs is just really solid, I think.
Yeah, I think I found my own groove of how I want, generally want them to look. So yeah, it's consistent because the earlier designs were more reminiscent of the Transformers Prime designs, because that was the big Transformers show at the time. So
yeah.
right now, I'm leaning more towards the Transformers animated style.
That is the one, because I know a lot about Transformers from my friend, who is quite big into Transformers, and he made me watch the whole animated Transformers animated series, which I'm very, very grateful for, because it's awesome. I've learned a little bit about Transformers over the last year, and I know you're a huge Transformers guy.
Yeah, I guess I'm just a huge fan of things with robots in them.
Yeah,
Bionicle, Transformers, a lot of mecha anime.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, so I kind of covered that. I actually started off drawing a lot of robots before diving into the fat art hole.
I guess nowadays you sort of do like a balance of fat art and robots, which feels nice that there's like a balance there of like your two favorite things.
I know that how do I say it? There's usually a huge divide. Like the moment I see, I don't know how common this is, but a lot of people not into drawing robots. I know people say it's hard, or they have no interest in that, so that's fine. So it kind of makes me stand out from the crowd in a way. Like, that's just what I've noticed. I mean, how many fat artists in the community could you think of that also draw robots regularly? I'm like, that's pretty rare.
Yeah, not a lot.
So yeah, I guess I have a hold of that market.
You do combine the two a lot. Like your fat robots are great, because you even did like the fat versions of the Darling and the Franxx robots. I remember back in the day.
Oof, that brings me back.
Those were good.
They look human enough? Question mark.
Human enough. Oh my gosh, that also reminds me of the new fat robot I saw, commissioned by YouTuber, I believe. I saw on Twitter. Yeah, great to see you're getting attention. When you get noticed by him, I think it's a good sign.
I know who you're talking about. So I didn't notice up until recently that he was also into this stuff. So wow. And he commissions a lot of it.
The more I have been around this community, the more I have noticed that he really does. Which I appreciate, that he's like really giving back to the community, because giving artists work, keeping them in business. I really appreciate that.
That's great. Definitely brings a lot of attention to a lot of artists.
I hope it's good attention.
Oh yeah. I don't know. Sometimes I like to be optimistic, so I hope it's positive attention. But our interests get made fun a lot, which fair enough. But I feel like when you look at the wider scope of things to make fun of, I don't know, pretty on top of the iceberg. Honestly, it's not that deep.
I've always felt that.
This isn't the weirdest on the market. I'm sorry. I've seen worse.
I've been around the internet for a wee while. There's stuff out there, man. Ugh.
Stuff that makes my skin crawl. Like, no offense to you guys who like that stuff. You guys are chill. Damn. Sometimes things are just not for me, man. You guys are built different.
Oh, I know the feeling.
Ooh.
I mean, I will admit, I do love the fan art. I've always loved it. But our channel was a lot of laughing at ourselves and making fun of. It's like poking fun at people who like it as people who like it.
Yeah, man. You kind of know our audience, hopefully.
The thing is, I've seen so many like WG and inflation comics or whatever that like I know all the tropes, and so whenever it happens, I'm like
Oh, there it is. I mean, I appreciate a lot of people trying to bring a lot of new. I think people are aware of the tropes, and a lot do try to bring in some new, interesting stuff into the mix, which is always great. But sometimes I gotta acknowledge that it's a paid job. Sometimes, some people just like what they like, and that they're gonna commission the same thing.
Oh yeah.
Over 50 times, and that's fine. It definitely gives the guy work. It's like the mysteriously rich furry artist. They have money to burn.
I've heard of them. I don't know. I haven't There's probably a video out there of all about them, but I've heard of this mysterious individual who is strangely rich.
But yeah, man, I understand totally, and it's fine. And sometimes the artist drawing it just likes that too. Perfectly fine. But yeah, we can all make fun of the tropes every time it shows up. It's fine. I've been around long enough to see. Nowadays, I'm like, oh, it's happening, and we all do the Wojak pointing.
Yeah.
Wait. How did you guys get into all of this?
Well, me and Snide decided to start a YouTube channel in 2018, and I told Snide, "Hey, Snide, I like fan anime girls art. Why don't we do a video on that as a joke?" And we did.
Oh.
And it got a lot of views. People wanted to see it. And then we were like, well, we'll try some other stuff. We did some Fortnite gameplay. We did some Reddit reviews, and we kind of found that the videos that got more views were when we looked at giant ladies on DeviantArt, and so that's just what we did.
I think the big one was No Lunch Break, the first video on there.
Yes, No Lunch Break. Yes, that really kind of set the course for our channel.
Oh damn! Starting with the big hitters.
Oh, No Lunch Break. It will always hold a special place in my heart for the importance of it to our channel. I don't think we'd be where we are today without it.
Our Lord Kip.
Our Lord Kip. Kip is mysterious.
Perfectly understandable sometimes, because especially as someone as big as Kip, they get a lot of flack from the community I guess from what I've seen. A lot of people love him. A lot of people hate him. So I understand.
I mean, I still remember the controversy over the dead rats.
Oh wow, that takes me back. But
I guess I should ask: were there any other questions you had about us, or was my explanation of our origins mostly explanatory?
Pretty explanatory. I was going to ask how you guys got into fan art to begin with.
Oh, me? Yeah, of course, the origin story.
Right. Just a brief one.
For fan art, I don't know if I have an origin story, because I know there's origin stories are basically a trope in themselves. People are like, oh yeah, I watched...
They're classics. I watched Passion Patties.
Passion Patties, my god, yeah. I never saw that, so yeah, I can't blame Totally Spies.
Right. It's their trigger that started this whole thing.
I do remember I saw Charlie and the Chocolate Factory when I was 5 or 6, and that ruined my life. And I don't know whether the whole weight gain, fat ladies was sort of attached to that or not, but that's kind of what snowballed everything.
I feel like that's they kind of come together in many ways.
In a lot of ways, yeah. It's this interesting overlap between the WG and the inflation, and then the war communities even. And so we're all kind of this larger sphere, even if we don't all get along all the time.
Hey, large sphere.
Appropriate.
Yeah.
We're all here for the large spheres. I think we can agree on that.
Yeah, I don't know what it was about people making media back in the day thinking, this is probably funny. Oh, never did they know that this would spiral into its own subculture.
Damn you, Roald Dahl. Why? I could have been a normal person.
Listen, Roald Dahl has done more problematic stuff than just this, okay?
Alright, yeah, fair point. Yeah, that's my origin story.
I mean, mine is not too special. I mean, it's pretty typical, watches anime and cartoons a lot, and there's always that episode that shows up, which everyone in the community knows,
It is funny how that is.
You see art of this stuff on the internet, and you're like, okay. And, you can't, for me, I've been lurking around for a while before starting to post my own stuff. The funny thing is, I've always been posting art, just, not the fat stuff yet. It was probably, right now, I mean, era of my life. I'm like, oh no, it all comes back together. It all comes back around again. He's drawing robots. Well, I never abandoned it, but now I feel like it's basically 70% just regular stuff. Now 30% fat stuff, I guess, or less. I'm not sure about the numbers right now, but it feels like that at the moment.
Okay.
I almost feel like I'm retired in a weird way. The last batch was like, the last batch of commissions were just like, oh no, PayPal Thailand's gonna change their rules and regulations. Oh well, I better open up some commissions before the whole thing blows up.
I see.
Right. Never do 40 commissions in a row, ever.
Okay. If I ever become a pro artist, and I'm by no means on that level, I wouldn't say, I will keep in mind to keep it at like 5 or 6 at a time or so.
Yeah, but some people get burned out, and totally understandable. Here I'm like, oh man. After that last batch, I'm like, oh, I don't want to see fat again for a while. PTSD right there.
Oh man.
It comes in it comes in waves. Right now I'm working on some huge projects, so who knows when the next wave might come back.
Well, I'm excited to see this new project, Fat or Not.
It's something exciting for me. Ooh, finally something different.
Speaking of retiring, I was thinking about it. It sort of feels, because I've only really been around in this community for about 5 years. Actually, it's our 5th year channel anniversary this year, and
oh wow, congratulations.
Thank you, dude. Thank you. Yeah, it's pretty. I'm like, what the heck are we doing here? 5 years of posting this nonsense. But we've been around to see a lot of new artists spring up, but also old artists, retire, like you say, and it's it is weird. We've and I mean, you've been for around here for twice that time. And it's weird to be here, being yes, I remember when this artist used to do art, but they retired now, and seeing people grow up in their art and then retire out of it. It's maybe I'm just trying to say I feel old.
it happens, but yeah. I pretty much seen every type of scenario imaginable. This person just one day disappeared off the face of the earth, and then some of them just came back, pop up.
They do. It's always weird when it's people have been away for years, and it's hey, I decided I'll do art again. It's I thought you were dead.
Well, in some cases that does happen, and it's kind of unfortunate.
Yeah.
I remember doing trade with an artist, and years later I found out that they were no longer with us.
Oh my god.
That's really depressing to think about.
I know. I'm sure there has been I remember a comic we covered. I think it was a Satsuru comic, I think. And people in the comments were saying, man, the guy who commissioned this passed away. And it's that's just...
Aww.
What the heck? I know, it's it's just not what you expect to be seeing when you're someone's commissioning a fat comic. Oh, they're no longer with us. Oh, damn.
Wow, that took a dark turn. I'm sorry. But yeah, some people come back. Some people, branch out into doing other things. It happens. I've seen some people just quit and come back multiple times. So
that also happens. Again, it's like this sort of thing where people like doing this art, but then it gets they want to do other stuff, and it kind of gets that burnout. Yeah. But then they are I did like doing that art, and they come back, but then again it's you like doing the art, but when you're doing it, you're doing too much of it, and you want to do something else. But then when you don't do it, you realize you want to do it again. I have seen that happen.
Yeah, I mean, that's their decision. I can't control. I have no say in that. I always say, just do what feels right for you. If you want to quit, just quit or come back. But sometimes it's okay to just maybe stay away from social media for a while. Just leave that stuff around for a while.
That always
maybe
happens.
don't make hasty decisions just yet. Think about it for a bit. That's fine. I mean, I abruptly quit once, and here I am.
Oh right. When was I may remember that. When was that?
I think it was somewhere during 2019 during the pandemic. I mean, it's still not, at the height of it. It's still not technically gone here. We're still wearing masks in different places. It's either 2019 or 2020. I don't quite remember. It was probably 2020. Somewhere in that general area.
2020 was a rough year for a lot of people.
Even me, I'm like, probably existential crisis or midlife crisis, depending on. It was just not a good year, and I feel like I was done.
Yeah.
So I just kind of quit. But yeah, I'm back here again. But I never really lost contact with the friends I made in the community. They're still.
That's the important thing, because you do meet cool people. I've really made like great friends through this, which is the weirdest thing. I don't know. Something about liking the same weird art brings people together.
It's a weird bonding moment, but
it is,
sometimes it does help that sometimes if you share, if you were lucky, you happen to share interests outside of fat art, which is always great. I have some friends that are pretty much feels like friends for life now. Like, oh, what do you mean? They actually like our interests that are not fat art actually interlap. That actually overlap. Sorry, the words.
Well, I mean, to be fair, a lot of us on the internet and into fat art, we're all kind of, a lot of us are like anime people, video game people,
similar subcultures that we dabble in.
Yeah, I think most of us lean toward, who are following DeviantArt artists, lean towards the more nerdy side. I don't know, although there is probably a 40-year-old sports enjoying dad who also likes Kip comics. I don't know.
Oh, that's definitely an interesting. Like, oh wow, if they're the biggest supporter. Wow. Sometimes you don't know. I don't know sometimes. But yeah, it's always cool to be friends, and sometimes it's even cooler to actually meet in real life, which I have the pleasure of meeting some, which is always great.
That is awesome. I mean, oh my god, like it's cool enough. Like speaking to and again, I'm sorry if I'm sounding like I'm like treating you like some kind of celebrity, but it's just this is my job is being obsessed with fat artists.
No man, I don't know. I don't think I see myself as a celebrity or anything. I'm just some guy who works a day job like everyone else, and
I don't think I'm nearly as I'm not nearly as reputable in this community as any of the big artists that I follow, but like it's always like a weird feeling when I'm like new artists even say, "You're Snide and Sniff. I love your stuff. It made me want to do art," and I'm like,
"Oh,
what?
Wow.
I'm just a dude who does silly voices on YouTube. Why are you acting like I'm some kind of like important figure?"
I guess that is, it is nice to hear sometimes, because you don't know where your art. I guess it is the feeling that. I guess we all love the feeling of when you create something, it touches people. It
it is a great
inspires them. Inspire something in them. Hopefully positive and not.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I guess this question comes from the fact that we cover art, but also a huge part of what we do is also like following the comics and comics people write, and like getting invested in their stories, even though it's supposed to just be like fat comic stories, is like a big part of what we do. And so I was wondering, are there any like comic artists and like comics that you like in the fats community that you like are your favorites, or you've been very invested in?
I guess the earliest, I have the earliest fat comics I didn't know of, are by some of the older artists in the community. I've seen plenty of stuff from The American Dream, Dead Benders Inc. All those guys are pretty much what I always consider them my my set of inspirations. Like without them I wouldn't be here today. But I guess the ones that have personal favorite of mine back in the day were was it the Kim Possible comic or the Teen Titans comic? You know,
Oh, you mean, are you talking about Serioja Inc.?
yes, those are classic. Like me as a teenager, like, oh my god, they because at the time this feels so professionally drawn. It follows the style of the actual art. Like oh my god, that was insane. I haven't heard of him in a while, so because the last time I did, I was aware of them was them doing their own website. I haven't gotten contact with them for a huge while, but we've talked before.
Yeah, I think it's pretty sure Serioja Inc. is still busy doing his thing.
But he's got a wife and kids. He's got to feed the family.
Damn.
It's insane that sometimes you think, like, oh my god, some people actually do this for it's their job. But no, this is their day job. I guess the only reason I haven't made it a day job is I don't think I could handle. I'm not sure if I could handle that 24/7, but some people can.
Oh yeah.
Like I don't think I can go up to my parents and say, "Oh hi, I spend my 9 to 5 drawing fat girls on the internet." Yep, totally nothing. They won't be ashamed at all. I mean, they're aware of some of my fat, but not the extremely weird stuff. They've seen some of my OCs that are on the larger side, so I don't think they question it. But it's the weird, the really weird stuff. They're like, I don't think they've seen that. Yeah, and they're, Asian parents, So yeah, I'm perfectly fine. Just using this as a side thing. That's perfectly fine. But yeah, hopefully in a few years, some of the stuff that I've worked on that is publicly released, I can every now and then I could probably pop in and say, oh shit, I worked on this. It's a good feeling to see your stuff like, oh, I worked on it. You see the credits and you're like, that's me. I did that. Speaking of comics, another artist I do, there's a lot of artists that have dabbled into comics. And, Better with Salt, they're always really good. Their quality has always been top notch. So I'm like, damn, how do you do this, man? But it's their day job. I did ask.
Bitterwood Salt has like an assistant or something. I remember Bitterwood Salt posted a thing of I brought an assistant to help, and it's like, Jesus, Bitterwood Salt, you're running a friggin' studio here.
That's amazing though. Like, dang, that's another artist I respect a lot. Like, wow, the skill level alone. But they're also really cool as a person. So that's always good to hear. I respect people taking their time to use their craft to do all sorts of cool stuff. Like I've seen plenty of people dabbling in animation. Wow, that's like twice the work. I'm like,
oh yeah. Because you haven't ever done a WG comic, but I do remember you put out a comic with some of your characters. I can't remember. Can't remember when it was now. It could be.
I get what you mean.
Could be 2019, 2021. I can't remember when it was, but I remember seeing it on your DeviantArt.
Yes, I think I posted that one on one of the sites that already went down. I have had an interest in doing some comics, but I think I just never went through with it. Which is a shame. I feel like I should, at least do one, mainly because listen, I don't think English is my strongest language, and I feel like, oh man, this is gonna be cringe. I don't think that the dialogue might be cringe. I don't know. There's a few things that's kind of stopping me from
I mean, just the art of a comic is a huge commit, but yeah, obviously then there is the story and the writing as well.
It's a lot, versus you drawing a pic every month at least. First, that's why I huge respect to people who draw comics or do animation. You guys are insane. So, this is a question for you guys. What are you guys planning for the future? Now that it's your anniversary, are you planning to bring more people in? People on?
Yes, actually, it has been something we've been thinking of it for a long time, and kind of obvious since we engage with so many artists, make content with so many artists. Makes sense that we talk to artists, and this is really something I would like to there's a bunch of artists I'd love to talk to and bring on this channel and find out more about their stuff. And again, like, really, really grateful that you were happy to come on here. But yeah, I hopefully we'll have be able to talk to a bunch of other artists as well, because find out more about what they're doing and everything. And it's been honestly, it's a real honor to have you as like the first artist we have on this. That is awesome.
Thank you. It can only go up from here.
Oh my gosh, man, don't be down on yourself like that.
Nah, I'm just joking.
I mean,
hey, no.
I'll probably get better at these interviews as well, I guess, so my quality will go up as well. But yeah, definitely wanting to do more, speak to more artists and have more artists on the channel to, hear their, because we talk about their art and comics a lot, so I think it would be really cool to hear, their thoughts in their art and comics for our audience. Besides that, Snide probably knows more about it, but Snide does 3D art, and we're sort of, he's often thought about doing more into that, doing more comics along those lines with this 3D art. It's definitely a possible idea, and besides that, just continuing to cover the next 600 pages of whatever comic Kip Tay does. We'll definitely be continuing to do that, obviously. That was something I was going to ask, solely because my friend recently made me sit through all of 3 of the Channel Awesome movies. You did a Nostalgia Critic fan art back at some point. Yeah, Jeetdoh Nostalgia Critic fan art, which is awesome.
Oh, that's cursed. Oh, yeah. Channel Awesome definitely has a weird reputation now. But yeah, I remember at some point, back in the day, watching the Nostalgia Critic, AVGN, all those old content creators. Yeah, but I think that was for a contest to win, to win a prize. I think that was a part of a contest to win a prize money.
Oh, right.
I forgot what it was. Was it the cover for a DVD? I think.
I'm just disappointed they didn't pick your art, because that was awesome.
Alternate history. Channel Nostalgia Critic fans discover Jeetdoh for the first time. That'd be a whole different thing.
Oh goodness.
Maybe we don't need. We don't need that.
Maybe.
I do have some memories of watching his older videos. Now, sometimes you grow out of things and you're like, I guess their content is not doing it for me anymore. Sometimes it happens. I kind of understand. It's almost kind of like, doing fan art in a way. Like, sometimes your content evolve. I don't like calling art content. It is weird. Sometimes your art does evolve, and sometimes it's not in the direction that people like. But man, did not expect to bring up Channel Awesome. That is all weird can of worms.
I guess one question that just came to mind is, what are like your personal favorite works, like fat or not, that you have done on your account?
Ooh, personal favorites. That's a good question. I don't usually my favorite is not usually my favorite for long, because the favorite is always gonna be the one that usually the one I've done the most recent. That makes any sense?
I get that. I feel bad putting that question to you, because someone in a live stream recently asked me in the live stream chat, what's the best video that you've made that you'd recommend? And I've made like 500 videos. I don't know.
I guess that's my answer though. My favorite one is the one that I've done the most recent. But if you had to ask for an old one, I feel like most of my favorites are usually the ones that are that have a lot of detail in them. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on. I guess my answer is usually it's the one with a lot of detail with multiple characters. That's usually my favorite, because sometimes there are sequences in one image, or sometimes you can sneak tiny details, fun details in there that people might notice. I usually do that with my work a lot of the time.
Oh,
Well,
cool.
when you notice, you notice. I think the balloon parade was the last. Was it the last one? That was
That's
the one with that
Pokemon
much detail.
one, right?
No, it's the Xenoblade one.
Oh, Xenoblade. Yeah, no, I was thinking the other one with all the balloons. Oh, yes. Oh my goodness. Yeah, okay, there are a lot of characters there.
I would say I was pretty proud of that one. Oh.
Yeah, a lot of work went into that one, I can see.
Favorite detail that I like to draw is pictures a lot of food. Food is sometimes fun to draw. Any closing thoughts?
Closing thoughts. We've covered a lot of ground actually.
I guess general life stuff. I guess it's just been general life stuff, like my personal experience with the fat community and all that. Yeah, burnout.
Bionicles. Well, closing question, Jeetdoh. What is your favorite Transformer?
Ooh. Favorite Transformer. Again, like everything I draw, it always shifts. But I guess the one I have at the moment is animated Bulkhead, I guess.
That is a good choice. That is a very good choice, actually.
Big green dude. I mean, it's a lot of. This actually holds a lot of significance. Believe it or not, Bulkhead is not tied to any previous Transformers before, any Transformers show before that.
That's true.
Yes. I mean, there was a character named Bulkhead in Transformers Energon, but he was a helicopter and had nothing to do with this.
Right.
This is pretty much an original character that was was made from the ground up by the late great Derek J. Wyatt. And
damn.
Yeah, he's Bulkhead was the character that was the first one he drew that defined the style of the show. So Bulkhead defined, so he could push his design choices by using Bulkhead as the standard. So yeah, and I think he's a neat character. It's a cool design. He's a pretty unique design, and I like his personality. So yeah.
I do love the episode a lot where he tries to make friends. Where actually he continues to try to make friends with the Destructicons. Or wait, Constructicons. Yeah.
And yeah, and he does subvert a lot of the typical tropes you associate with the big guy. He's not just a gentle giant. He does have spotlight episodes on him that focuses on him doing art, which he does get frustrated with because nobody appreciates it. Or the time he's really proficient in one particular subject, which is space bridges, which eventually saves the day. He just happens to be a genius in this one particular subject that no one is good at. He's a fun character.
That's a really great answer, actually. Yeah, I think we can wrap it up there. I think but thank you so much, Jeetdoh, for giving us more than an hour of your precious time. Thank you so much. Hopefully, it's this is the first of many interviews, but it has been an honor to have you on as our first guest, and we're really grateful for that.
Right, my pleasure, guys. Hopefully, I wish you guys the best of luck, and hope this becomes a thing.
Oh, thank you. Anyone watching, if you want to check Jeetdoh out, his Twitter will be linked in the description. Follow his Twitter so you can see the new secret special project that he is working on when that is already. Looking forward to whatever that is.
You guys have a good day.
Thank you. You do too, Jeetdoh. Thank you so much for coming on.
My pleasure, man.